Welcome. This is my theory in one page, so if you're bored, you can just read it without listening to my annoying voice. And if you want my commentary on this, you can stay on the video. We know, thanks to the description of Ulasil sorcery repair, that light is equal to the flow of time, and as in the prologue the light has been set as the opposite of dark, then we get the obvious consequence that the darkness has the power to make time go backwards. This is the result of simply logical uh, thinking based on the information that the game gives us, which are uh, one in a Dark Souls 3 with the object repair, with the spell repair, and one in Dark Souls 1 in which, while describing disparity, we find that obviously uh, heat and cold and light and dark and life and death are opposite concept. So once the spell repair tell us that light is time, we cannot help but try to guess what the opposite of time is, which, as we will discuss further in the next slides, appear to be the reversal of time. To develop further this statement, we need to research deeper the origin of repair. First of all, repair is a sorcery, which represents a first tie with the dark. Secondly, the characteristic golden color of Urasil sorceries seems to be weaker in repair. And finally, we have to consider that in analogy with Demon Souls, as the old one was awakened for lust of King Alan XII to acquire the Soul's Heart, so Gwyn is probably who awakened Manus in the attempt to obtain the power of sorceries. The appearing of the first sorceries at the same time of the appearing of Dark in Ulasil indeed should not be underestimated. Here I make an analogy with Demon Souls, and we can find that there are several connections that we can actually make between the two games, even though you can go to check my other videos in which it's clearly demonstrated how the whole franchises created by Miyazaki are connected. But even here, we can find Lord Gwyn that as King Allant try to obtain some magical power from a creature that get awakened and then release some kind of deadly manifestation, which in Dark Souls is the dark and in Demon Souls is the mist. As we can assume from the following quote, the sorceries were disguised as a product of light to support the royal rhetoric of dark as something to annihilate. This is the voice of this is the quote of the Princess Dusk. My home, Ulasil, is the home of ancient sorceries. The sorceries of Ulasil differ from the magic of Tine Age. It is difficult to explain. Ulasil's sorceries are, what doth one say? They are somewhat of an approximation, somewhat of an approximation. Time sorceries are more straightforward, negating all but thyself. Dost thou not find some fascination in these discrepancies? The Ulasil sorceries negate their human dark nature, in order to be used by gods, but they are nothing different from the so much feared dark. Here we can have this quite eloquent proof of some kind of disguising and renegation which we find in the Ulasil sorceries. I don't feel to comment this further as Dusk speak about the they're negating something. these sorceries are negating themselves, while the opposite happen in the modern sorceries used by humans, where they are dark as they are supposed to be, and they don't try to negate the darkness which is within themselves. While the effect of this spell, here is the description of repair which is at the base of this theory. While the effects of this spell are rather subtle, its foundation are well guarded secret. Light is time, and the reversal of its secret is a forbidden art. This spell origin is subtle and well guarded, and then we find that the light, as time flow, should be not reversed. The obvious conclusion in finding these two information in the same description is that repair is subtle for its reversing time, which is even proved by its function, bringing damaged weapons to their original state, or in their relative past. This part for me is the one that uh, more obviously tell us how uh, Ulasil sorceries are actually much more close to dark than uh, to the light, and how the dark is actually meant to be the opposite of time, as light is meant to be uh, the time flow. Of course, the definition of dark and light is not limited to this aspect of time, but even others. But in this video, I think it's enough to discuss about this. Now there is a little extra that I want to use to reinforce my the theory that I just explained. Okay, there are a list of three phenomena which go in accordance to this theory. Of course, I could find much more things, uh, but I try to choose the more iconic and the one that were more intentionally, uh, let's say, the more relevant according to the story of the games created by Miyazaki. So first of all, we have Manus, which has the power to bring our character or even Chester back in the past. So Manus is a manifestation of dark, and he bring people back in the past in Ulasil. Then we have Filianor, which is able to keep the time still, at least, if not bringing it back, maybe with equal strength on opposite direction respect to the light. She used this dark artifact, which allow to keep the ringed city to the a static moment in the time. And as soon as we destroy this artifact, we see the ringed city to become dust, exactly as Ulasil became dust, respect to the. I mean, as it was told by Princess Dusk. Finally, as with Manus, the moon presence, that for who know this channel, then nobody, um, is another representation of the old one as Manus. Even the moon presence, which then is a representation of dark, is able to bring back people from the future. Considering indeed the 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 moon presence, a character from the end of Dark Souls 3, which I already discussed, um, and being Bloodborne happening in the future in the Yarnam, then we can consider this the same phenomena of Manus with uh, the main character in Dark Souls 1, who get dragged back in the past by a dark creature. So I could go on with this thesis for quite long time, going to speak even about other theories. But I think that at this point you should already have made up your mind, so uh, it would not change to bring other information if you are not already convinced by this that I considered to be the more appealing for this theory. And so subscribe to my channel and go to recover all the other videos that you have been missing. Bye bye.